In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, but the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated light from darkness, and God called the light day and the darkness night, and it was evening and morning, the first day. 6. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let there be a separation between the waters and the waters. And God made the firmament and separated the waters that were under the firmament from those that were above the firmament. And so it was." 8. God called the firmament heaven, and there was evening and morning the second day. 9. And God said, "Let the waters that are under heaven be gathered together in one place, and let the dry land appear." And so it was. God called the dry land and the gathering of the waters seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, herbs that bear seed, and fruit trees that bear fruit according to their kinds, that have their seed in them on the earth." And so it was. And the earth brought forth grass, herbs that yielded seed according to their kinds, and trees that bore fruit that had their seed in them according to their kinds. And God saw that this was good. And there was evening and morning, the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to separate the day from the night. Let them be for signs and for seasons, and for days and years." 15. And let them be lights in the expanse of heaven to give light to the earth. And so it was. 16. And God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He also made the stars. And God set them in the expanse of heaven to give light to the earth, to rule the day and the night, and to make a separation between light and darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and morning, the fourth day. And God said, "Let the waters bring forth shoals of living creatures, and let the birds fly above the earth in the expanse of heaven." And God created the sea monsters, and all the living creatures that crawled along, which the waters brought forth abundantly according to their kinds, and every bird that flies according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters of the seas, and let the birds multiply upon the earth." And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, cattle, creeping things, and wild beasts according to their kinds." And so it was. And God made the wild beasts after their kinds, and the cattle after their kinds, and all the creeping things of the earth after their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let us make man in our image after our likeness. Let him have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." Therefore God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. Then God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that creeps on the earth." And he said unto them, "Behold, I have given unto you every seed-bearing herb, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree on which there is seed-bearing fruit. They will be for food for you. And to all the beasts of the earth, and to all the birds of the air, and to every living thing that creepeth upon the earth, I have given every green herb for food." And so it was. And God saw all that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. Genesis 2. Thus were finished the heavens and the earth, with all their army. Now, when God had completed the work which he had made on the seventh day, he rested on that day from all the work which he had made. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because in him he rested from all his work that he had created and made. These are the origins of the heavens and the earth, when they were created. In the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, there was not yet any field plant on the earth, for no grass of the field had yet sprouted. For the Lord God had not made it rain on the earth, nor was there man to till the land. But a steam rose from the earth, and watered the whole face of the earth. And the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden on the east side in Eden, and he put there the man whom he had formed. And the Lord God caused to grow out of the earth all kinds of trees pleasing to the eyes and good for food, and the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it was divided and became 4 branches. The name of the first is Pishon. This is the one that surrounds all the land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of this land is good. There is the bdellium and the beryl stone. The name of the second river is Gihon. This is the one that surrounds the whole land of Cush. 14. The name of the third river is Tigris. This is the river that flows through the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to till it and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest eat freely, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day you eat of it, you will surely die. And the Lord God said, It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make him a helper suitable for him. And the Lord God formed out of the earth all the beasts, the field, and all the fowls of the air, and brought them to man to see what he would call them. And whatever man called every living creature, that was his name. So man gave names to all the cattle, to the birds of the air, and to all the beasts of the field. But for man there was no suitable helper. 21. Then the Lord God caused a heavy sleep to fall upon the man, and he fell asleep. Then he took one of his ribs and shut the flesh in its place. 22. And from the rib which the Lord God had taken from her, he formed the woman and brought her to the man. And the man said, This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called Varroa, because she was taken from man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, and be joined to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. Now the serpent was the most cunning of all the beasts of the field that the Lord God had made. And she said to the woman, Has God said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, Of the fruit of the trees of the garden we may eat, 3. But of the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden, God said, You shall not eat of it, nor touch it, lest you die. 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God knows that in the day you eat of this fruit your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good to eat, and pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to give understanding, she took of its fruit and ate, and gave it to her husband, and he also ate. Then the eyes of both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves, and made themselves aprons. And when the man and his wife heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the evening, they hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called the man and said to him, Where art thou? The man said to him, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And God said unto him, Who showed thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee not to eat? And the man answered, The woman whom you gave me to be a companion gave me the tree, and I ate. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? The woman answered, The serpent has deceived me, and I have eaten. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, cursed art thou above all the cattle, and out of all the beasts of the field. You shall walk on your belly, and eat dust all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. And he said to the woman, I will greatly multiply the pain of thy conception. In pain you shall bear children, and your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. And he said unto the man, Because thou hast hearkened unto thy wife's voice, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the earth for thy sake. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. It will bring forth thorns and thistles for you, and you shall eat of the herbs of the field. By the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread, until you return to the ground, because you were taken from it. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. He called Adam his wife Eve, because she was the mother of all living. And the Lord God made coats of skins for Adam and his wife, and clothed them. And the Lord God said, Behold, man hath become as one of us, knowing good and evil. Now lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever. And the Lord God cast him out of the Garden of Eden, to till the land from which he was taken. And when he had cast out the man, he set the cherubim on the east side of the Garden of Eden, and a flaming sword that turned on every side, to guard the way to the tree of life. Genesis 4. Adam knew Eve his wife. She conceived. And when she had given birth to Cain, she said, I have obtained a male from the Lord. She gave birth to a son again, to her brother Abel. Abel was a shepherd, and Cain was a tiller of the land. At the end of days, Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord. Abel also brought of the firstborn of his sheep, and of their fat. And the Lord looked upon Abel and his offering, but he did not heed Cain and his offering. Wherefore Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell off. Then the Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry? And why is your countenance drooping? If you do well, will not your countenance be lifted up? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire will be upon you. But over him you must rule. And Cain spoke with his brother Abel, and while they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel, and killed him. And the Lord said to Cain, Where is Abel your brother? He answered, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? And God said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying out to me from the earth. Now cursed art thou from the earth, which hath opened his mouth to receive thy brother's blood out of thy hand. When you till the land, it will no longer give you its strength. Fugitive and vagabond you shall be on earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, today you cast me down from the face of the earth, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a fugitive and a vagabond on earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. But the Lord said to him, Therefore whoever kills Cain will vengeance fall on him 7 times. And the Lord put a mark on Cain, that no one should strike him that found him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod, east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and whom he conceived, and bare Enoch. Cain built a city, and named it after his son Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mujael, and Mujael begat Methushael, and Methushael begat Lamech. Lamech took 2 wives for himself. The name of one was Ada, and the name of the other was Zillah. And Ada bore Jabal. This was the father of those who dwell in tents and have livestock. His brother's name was Jubal. This was the father of all who play the harp and flute. Zillah also had a son, Tubal-Cain. a maker of every cutting instrument of copper and iron, and Tubal-Cain's sister was Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice. Hearken, women of Lamech, my words, for I killed a man for wounding me and a young man for trampling on me. If Cain is to be avenged 7 times, Lamech is sure to be avenged 77 times. And Adam made his wife again, and she gave birth to a son, and named him Seth. For she said, God has given me another son instead of Abel, for Cain killed him. To Seth was also born a son, whom he named Enos. It was at this time that men began to call on the name of the Lord. This is the book of the generations of Adam. On the day that God created man, in the likeness of God he did. Male and female he created them, and he blessed them, and called them by the name of man, in the day that they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and named him Seth. And the days of Adam, after he begat Seth, were 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. All the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and died. Seth lived 105 years, and begat Enosh. And after he begat Enosh lived Seth 807 years, and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Seth were 912 years, and died. And Enosh lived 90 years, and begat Kenan. Enosh lived after he begat Kenan 815 years, and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Enosh were 905 years, and died. Kenan lived 70 years, and begat Mahalaleel. And Kenan lived after he begat Mahalaleel 840 years, and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Quenah were 910 years, and died. Mahalalel lived 65 years, and begat Jared. And Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 830 years, and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Mahalaleel were 895 years, and died. Jared lived 162 years, and begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years, and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Jared were 962 years, and died. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Enoch were 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and he appeared no more because God took him. Methuselah lived 187 years, and begat Lamech. Methuselah lived 782 years after he begat Lamech, and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and died. And Lamech lived 182 years, and begat a son, whom he called Noah, saying, He will comfort us concerning our works and the work of our hands, which are from the land which the Lord hath cursed. 30. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. All the days of Lamech were 777 years, and died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Genesis 6. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they took to themselves wives of all whom they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever, because he is flesh, but his days shall be 120 years. In those days the Nephilim were in the land, and also afterward, when the sons of God met the daughters of men, and they bore them sons. These Nephilim were the mighty men, the men of renown that existed of old. And the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was evil continually. Then the Lord repented that he had made man on the earth, and it weighed on his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy from the face of the earth the man whom I have created, both man and beast, creeping things and birds of the air, because I regret having made them. But Noah found favor in the sight of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. He was a righteous man and perfect in his generations, and he walked with God. Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. But the earth was corrupt before God and full of violence. 12. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come before me. For the earth is full of the violence of men. Behold, I will destroy them together with the earth. Make yourself an ark of topher wood. You shall make compartments in the ark, and cover it with bitumen inside and out. And thou shalt make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and its breadth 50, and its height 30. You shall make a window in the chest, and give it a cubit high, and the door of the ark thou shalt put in its side. You shall make it with floors, low, second, and third. For behold, I bring the flood upon the earth, to destroy from under heaven all flesh in which is the spirit of life. Everything on earth will expire, but with you I will establish my covenant. Thou shalt enter into the ark, thou and thy sons, thy wife, and thy sons' wives. Of all that lives, of all flesh, 2 of each kind, you shall bring into the ark, to keep them alive with you. Male and female will be. Of the birds according to their kinds, of the cattle according to their kinds, of every creeping thing of the earth according to their kinds, 2 of each kind shall come to you, that thou mayest keep them alive. Take with you all that is eaten, and gather it for yourself, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. So Noah did. According to all that God commanded him, he did so. And the Lord said to Noah, Go into the ark, you and all your household, for I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. Of all the clean animals you shall take with you 7 and 7, the male and his female. But of the animals that are not clean, 2, the male and his female. And of the birds of the air 7 and 7, male and female, that their kind may be kept alive upon the face of the whole earth. For after 7 days I will rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I will cut off from the face of the earth all the creatures that I have made. And Noah did according to all that the Lord had commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood came upon the earth. Noah went into the ark with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives, because of the waters of the flood, of the clean beasts and of the clean ones, of the birds, and of every creeping thing upon the earth. 2 by 2 they entered Noah into the ark, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. When the 7 days were over, the waters of the flood came upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. 12 and rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. That same day Noah entered into the ark, and with him his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and his wife and his sons' 3 wives, and with them every beast after its kind, every cattle after its kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, birds of every kind. They went into Noah in the ark, 2 by 2 of all flesh in which was spirit of life. And those who went in were male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded them. And the Lord shut him in. And the flood came upon the earth for 40 days, and the waters rose and lifted up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. The waters prevailed and grew great on the earth, and the ark was wandering on the waters. The waters prevailed exceedingly over the land, and all the high mountains that were under heaven were covered. 15 cubits above them the waters prevailed, and so they were covered. 21. All flesh that moved on the earth perished, both fowl and cattle, wild beasts, every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. Everything that had the breath of the spirit of life in its nostrils, everything that was on dry land, died. And all the creatures that were on the face of the earth were cut off, man and cattle, creeping things, and birds of the air, all were cut off from the earth. Noah alone remained, and those who were with him in the ark. 24. And the waters prevailed over the earth 150 days. Genesis 8. God remembered Noah, and all the beasts and all the cattle which were with him in the ark. And God caused a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters began to recede. The fountains of the deep and the windows of heaven were shut up, and the rain from heaven stood still. 3. The waters have gone away from the earth. At the end of 150 days, they began to wane. In the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark rested on the mountains of Ararat, and the waters dwindled until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, the tops of the mountains appeared. At the end of 40 days, Noah opened the window that he had made in the ark. He released a raven that, going out, went back and forth until the waters were dried up from the land. Then he released a dove to see if the waters had dwindled from the face of the earth. But the dove found nowhere to lay the sole of its foot, and returned to it into the ark. For the waters were yet upon the face of the whole earth. And Noah stretched out his hand and took it, and gathered it up with him in the ark. He waited another 7 days, and released the dove again out of the ark. In the evening the dove returned to him, and behold, in its beak a green olive leaf. And Noah knew that the waters had receded from the earth. Then he waited another 7 days, and released the dove, and she did not return to him. In the year 601, in the 1st month, on the 1st day of the month, the waters on the earth were dried up. And Noah took the covering out of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the earth was dry. In the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Come out of the ark, thou and thy wife and thy sons wives with thee. All the beasts that are with you of all flesh, both birds and cattle, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, bring them out with you, that they may reproduce abundantly on the earth, bear fruit, and multiply upon the earth. 18. Then Noah went out, and with him his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives. 19. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every bird, everything that moves on the earth according to their families, came out of the ark. Noah built an altar to the Lord, and he took of every clean beast and of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings upon the altar. And the Lord smelled the sweet smell, and said in his heart, I will no more curse the earth for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his childhood, nor will I smite every living thing again, as I have just done. As long as the earth lasts, there will be no sowing and harvesting, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night.